Imagine the fear Christians had for Nero, whom they believed was the Antichrist even after his suicide. They feared he could return to rule. Now behold the one who comes. He is here, and the world will soon face destruction. With ongoing wars, deadly diseases, famine, and natural disasters, it's clear to everyone, even the layman, that the long-awaited end times are upon us. While grappling with this reality, Pope Francis made a significant revelation about the Antichrist, a figure dreaded from ancient times until today for the mischief associated with him. What was the Pope's revelation, and what are its consequences for the human race? Let's dive into this video today to find out. Here we begin. From the beginning of time, Christians have been warned about the end times and the hatred that will come with it, especially the emergence of the Antichrist. But none of these warnings have been as frightening as Pope Francis's recent revelation about the Antichrist. Unlike before, when news of the end times seemed futuristic, the narrative has changed. Today, it's obvious that we are already in that foretold era, the one referred to in the holy books. The idea of the end times, often called the end of days or apocalypse, represents the ultimate phase of human history. It's believed that a sequence of cataclysms, divine judgment, and humanity's ultimate fate will characterize this period. Throughout history, various religious texts and spiritual teachings have provided insights into the signs and events expected to occur before or during the end times. Some signs are described as supernatural, while others are believed to be observable natural phenomena. The Bible outlines several signs and events that will precede the return of the Messiah. These signs include the prevalence of wars, famines, earthquakes, and the persecution of believers. There will also be a rise in false prophets, lawlessness, wickedness, and a decrease in love and compassion, Matthew 24:4-14. Moreover, there will be celestial signs such as the darkening of the sun and moon, falling stars, and other cosmic disturbances, Matthew 24:29-30. The scriptures provide a detailed forecast of these signs, indicating that they are no longer distant predictions, but rather the unfolding reality of our time. Throughout this year, many natural disasters have swept across the globe, leaving behind a trail of devastation. One striking example is the recent Hurricane Otis, which tore through Acapulco, decimating approximately 98% of businesses and leaving the local economy in ruins. These events serve as poignant reminders of the prophesied signs heralding the return of the Messiah. A big earthquake hit Morocco on September 8th, affecting around 500,000 people. People felt strong shaking, and it was scary. There were also a lot of hurricanes, with 22 forming in one season, which is more than usual. Wars and conflicts, like the one between Ukraine and Russia, have hurt many countries and caused the deaths of millions of people. Everyone is worried about what will happen next. Recently, Pope Francis said something that scared a lot of people. He talked to some Catholic leaders and said that the Antichrist has come. This has made people in the religious community very worried. So many bad things have been happening in the world lately. Earthquakes, hurricanes, wars, and now people are worried about the Antichrist. It's a scary time for a lot of people. When someone who is highly respected worldwide says something, it's important to pay attention. But what does it mean when they talk about something alarming like the Antichrist? And why say it now? Let's explore. The Antichrist in the Bible. The Antichrist is a figure mentioned in the New Testament, especially in the letters of John. John warns about this deceitful figure who opposes Christ. He tells his readers to be watchful because the Antichrist's arrival is imminent. Not only that, but there are already many deceivers among them. These people used to be part of the community, but their true intentions were revealed when they left. John stresses the importance of being able to tell who is genuine and who isn't. John emphasizes the need to discern between true and false prophets and identify the Antichrist. He warns against being misled by those who claim to speak for God, but are actually deceivers. Being able to tell the difference is crucial for the community's well-being. In 1 John 4:1, John reiterates the importance of discernment, urging his readers to test the spirits to see if they are from God. This means being cautious and not blindly believing everything they hear. It's essential to be vigilant and to rely on God's guidance to recognize the truth amidst deception. In his letters, John advises his beloved readers to be cautious about their beliefs. He warns them that many false prophets have appeared, so they should test the spirits to see if they are from God. He gives them a clear way to discern. If a spirit acknowledges Jesus Christ coming to earth, it's from God. But if it denies Jesus, it's not from God. This denial is a sign of the spirit of the Antichrist, which is already present in the world. In 2 John 17, John gives a short but strong warning. He tells his readers to watch out for deceivers who don't acknowledge Jesus Christ coming in human form. He calls these people both deceivers and antichrists, urging caution and encouraging them to continue loving one another. Moving beyond John's letters, we find a thought-provoking passage in Paul's letter to the Thessalonians. Specifically, in 2 Thessalonians 2:1-12, Paul reminds the Thessalonians that they don't need to worry about the exact timing of events. They know that the day of the Lord will come unexpectedly, like a thief in the night. Paul warns against being deceived or led astray, emphasizing that the day of the Lord won't happen until there is a rebellion and the man of lawlessness destined for destruction is revealed. Rise of Antichrist. The Antichrist, a figure of opposition to God, will boldly elevate himself above all that is considered divine and worthy of worship. Astonishingly, he will go so far as to claim authority within God's temple, declaring himself to be God. Turning to the book of Revelation, the Apostle John vividly depicts a fearsome beast emerging from the sea. Many scholars and believers interpret this beast as a symbol of the Antichrist, representing a force against God that ruthlessly persecutes the saints. John's description is striking. The beast has 10 horns, 7 heads adorned with blasphemous names, and is crowned with authority. Its appearance is a mix of different animals, with a body like a leopard, feet like a bear, and a lion's mouth. The dragon, symbolizing Satan, grants the beast immense power, authority, and even a throne. Interestingly, one of the beast's heads seems to suffer a fatal wound, but remarkably, it recovers. This event leaves the world in awe of the beast's apparent invincibility. The imagery in John's vision is powerful, conveying the Antichrist's audacious rise to power and the challenges that lie ahead for those who stand firm in their faith. The Antichrist, depicted as a dreadful beast, captures people's awe and leads them to worship both the dragon, representing Satan, and itself. Its unmatched might make people wonder who could possibly challenge it. This Antichrist, portrayed through the beast, speaks arrogantly, blasphemes, and deceives with its words. It holds authority and power for 42 months, targeting God's holy people and waging war against them, ultimately triumphing over them. Its dominion extends over all tribes, peoples, languages, and nations, exercising firm control. Remarkably, the beast receives worship from most of the earth's inhabitants, except those whose names are written in the Lamb's book of life. These faithful ones remain true to the Lamb, symbolizing Jesus, even from before the world began. Theories proving the Antichrist is here. Various theories have been proposed regarding the Antichrist's potential forms throughout history, drawing from biblical descriptions. Theologians and believers have offered diverse interpretations of the Antichrist to uncover its mysterious characteristics and true nature. These interpretations seek to understand the Antichrist's role and how it may manifest in the world. A captivating theory gaining attention is the rich billionaire theory. It suggests that the Antichrist will emerge as a wealthy individual with immense power and influence. According to this idea, the Antichrist's rise to power will be closely tied to their economic prowess and manipulative abilities. With vast financial resources, the Antichrist is believed to manipulate governments, economies, and global media platforms, shaping minds and establishing a system of global dominance. Many speculate that the growing interest in a new world order or a single global government could mirror ancient Rome's dominance. This leads to another theory of rebuilding the Roman Empire. Some believe that history might repeat itself, with certain events cycling through time. The Roman Empire, which thrived from 27 BC to 476 AD, profoundly influenced Western civilization, leaving lasting impacts on language, law, architecture, and governance systems. This theory suggests that similar patterns of dominance and influence could emerge again in modern times. After the collapse of the Roman Empire in 476 AD, several attempts were made to revive or reconstruct versions of it. One such attempt was the Holy Roman Empire, which existed from 962 to 1806. Additionally, Napoleon Bonaparte tried to establish a new Roman Empire across Europe. Interestingly, figures like the late British Prime Minister Winston Churchill endorsed this notion. In his book, The Second World War, Churchill mentioned that the Roman Empire was the first significant attempt to unite the world under a single political authority. This suggests that the desire for a unified global government is not entirely new. From a biblical perspective, prophecies such as Daniel's vision of 4 successive empires, Babylonian, Persian, Greek, and Roman, add fuel to speculation. Daniel's vision describes the fourth beast as dreadful and exceedingly strong, with 10 horns symbolizing 10 kings. Some interpreters associate these 10 kings with a future confederation of nations that will pave the way for the Antichrist's dominion. These historical and biblical references contribute to ongoing discussions and speculations about the possibility of a modern-day manifestation of the Roman Empire or the emergence of a global political order. While these ideas spark curiosity and debate, it's essential to recognize that they are subject to various interpretations and perspectives. Another viewpoint presents the Antichrist as a future global political leader, establishing a worldwide regime under their dominion. This theory, known as political leader theory, varies in perspectives, depicting the Antichrist as a powerful embodiment of evil, tyranny, and oppression. Historically, during the Cold War era, some conservative Christian figures like Tim LaHaye and Jerry B. Jenkins identified the Soviet Union as the embodiment of the Antichrist. This interpretation connects political leadership with the concept of the Antichrist, underscoring the diverse ways in which this figure is envisioned throughout history. During the 20th century, some Christian thinkers linked totalitarian regimes like Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union to the Antichrist's influence. They viewed the atheistic ideologies and global ambitions of these regimes as direct threats to Christian faith and values. The rise of such oppressive regimes was seen as tangible evidence of the Antichrist's presence on earth. This interpretation resonated particularly among fundamentalist Christians, who saw these regimes as embodiments of wicked forces ultimately leading to the reign of the Antichrist. In contemporary times, the Antichrist is envisioned as a deceptive leader, seeking to establish peace on earth to consolidate power. This leader would organize peace talks and garner agreements from world leaders, including those of enemy nations. By magically ending long-standing conflicts, he would gain the trust and relinquishment of power from these nations, becoming the ultimate authority on earth. An intriguing aspect emerges when this leader ascends to power, where he provides support for rebuilding the Third Temple for the Jewish people. This move adds complexity to his character and further solidifies his influence on a global scale, setting the stage for significant events in religious prophecy. Upon the completion of the temple, massive celebrations will ensue among the Jewish community. However, unbeknownst to them, their doom draws near. The Antichrist will reveal his true wicked intentions, seizing control of the temple and proclaiming himself as the sole deity within its sacred walls in Jerusalem. He will establish his dominance with no opposition, setting the stage for his rule over the world. Now, consideration of the Antichrist takes intriguing turns, exploring possibilities beyond traditional interpretations. One such concept envisions the Antichrist as an extraterrestrial being, orchestrating an alien invasion known as the alien deception theory. Imagine this cosmic figure descending from outer space, assuming a disguise that challenges earthly norms. Through captivating shows and the exploitation of global communication networks, this otherworldly entity fosters a sense of unity among people. With a charming personality and mysterious technology, it performs seemingly impossible feats, causing doubt in people's beliefs. Crafting stories, blending various spiritual traditions, manipulates minds, and deceives those seeking truth, successfully navigating a world hungry for answers. As fantastical as it may sound, this scenario suggests that an alien Antichrist could thrive in a global community searching for truth. Believers are urged to stay vigilant against such figures. Among the various theories surrounding the Antichrist, one gaining widespread support suggests he will emerge as a prominent religious leader in the end times. This theory, known as religious leader theory, posits that the Antichrist will deceive many, leading them astray, only to face defeat by Jesus Christ himself. Rooted in biblical prophecies, particularly those in the New Testament, this theory sparks extensive discussions and debates among scholars and theologians. The concept of the Antichrist as a religious leader has ancient roots, tracing back to the early Christian church's belief in a final battle between good and evil. At the heart of this theory lie biblical prophecies predicting a future period where the Antichrist strives to establish a unified global religion. Interpretations of the religious leader theory vary, but they generally revolve around the concept of the Antichrist assuming the guise of a false prophet or corrupt religious leader. This figure leads people astray with deceptive teachings and doctrines. Another perspective suggests that the Antichrist will wield political power, using religion to exert control and establish both a one-world government and a one-world religion. Various biblical passages are scrutinized to support the religious leader theory. For example, in 2 Thessalonians 2:3-4, the Apostle Paul warns of a man of lawlessness who opposes all that is good, exalting himself above every deity or object of worship. In Revelation 13:1-10, the Apostle John vividly describes a beast rising from the sea, endowed with authority and power by the dragon symbolizing Satan. Some theologians believe this beast represents the Antichrist, a formidable religious leader with unparalleled influence. Within the realm of the religious leader theory, some religious leaders have been accused of either being the Antichrist themselves or supporting the movement. This intriguing notion traces its origins back to the 16th century, when discussions and speculations about the Antichrist's identity and role were prevalent. Throughout history, this theory has sparked debates and influenced the perceptions of religious and political leaders. During the Reformation period, marked by intense religious and political tensions, prominent figures like Martin Luther and John Calvin criticized the teachings and practices of the Roman Catholic Church. They particularly challenged the authority vested in the Pope, drawing connections between the Pope and the Antichrist as described in biblical prophecies. These prophecies vividly portray a figure who cunningly opposes Christ and leads people astray with false teachings. Accusations against Pope Francis. Critics, even in modern times, have pointed fingers at figures like Pope Francis, accusing him of being the Antichrist. They argue that Pope Francis's humble demeanor is a deceptive tactic to present himself as a modest servant, while in reality, he has made statements demeaning to Christendom and Christ himself. For instance, some critics cite instances where Pope Francis reportedly made statements like, "Jesus failed on the cross." Such accusations add fuel to theories identifying religious leaders with the Antichrist. Despite the attention given to these theories, there's a danger in overlooking a more imminent threat: the surge of advanced technology. Our obsession with identifying potential Antichrist figures may fail to recognize the profound impact of rapidly advancing technology on society, politics, and religion. This oversight could leave us vulnerable to unforeseen challenges and disruptions posed by technological advancements. It's concerning that we've overlooked a crucial warning from the Bible about manipulation, which may be unfolding right before our eyes. What if I told you that the Antichrist could be the mastermind behind advanced technology and artificial intelligence, using it to seamlessly integrate into our society while hiding behind this facade, waiting for the perfect moment to strike? Examining our current reality, it's evident how humanity has increasingly relied on artificial intelligence and technology across various aspects of life. From e-commerce to healthcare, financial transactions, and entertainment, we've embraced technology in almost every sphere. As time progresses, our dependence on these technologies will only deepen to the extent that basic transactions and commercial activities may become impossible without their aid. Consider the invention of facial recognition technology, which allows users to be identified and authorized by scanning their faces. This technology has become integral to security systems, banking services, and even social media platforms. It highlights how technology is seamlessly integrated into our daily lives, shaping how we interact with the world around us. While innovative payment methods like facial recognition offer convenience by eliminating the need for physical cards or devices, they also raise concerns about increased surveillance. These systems may expose users to constant monitoring and potential government or corporate control. Another emerging technology is the subdermal hand chip, a small biocompatible chip implanted beneath the skin for seamless payments. Although efficient, these advancements may lead to over-reliance and a false sense of ease, masking the underlying motive of control. Surprisingly, the Pope has acknowledged these potential dangers. Regardless of how he came to this realization, it reminds faithful individuals worldwide to remain vigilant, steadfast, and prayerful. As technological advancements blur the boundaries between convenience and control, it's crucial to stay aware and prepared for any challenges that may arise. The time for vigilance and spiritual preparedness is now, as we navigate an increasingly complex and interconnected world. So what do you think of the revelation that the Antichrist has arrived? Are you afraid? Comment below and subscribe for more.